Okay. So, by a show of hands, how many people have been locked out of their room? I figured that. Basically, I figured there is a solution to this problem, and I believe that we could add on to what we have now, our current key swipes, and add a keypad lock. So it's like a 2-in-1 combination kind of. So today I'll first be talking about how getting locked out of our rooms is a problem and it creates more problems. I'll be talking about how my plans on modifications will fix the problem. Third, I'll be talking about the benefits of the modifications. And lastly, I'll be talking about what we can do to make this happen. So, getting locked out, it's a big problem. I used to think that, well, I still think to this very day that asking college students to rely on a piece of plastic as access in their rooms is a little bit too much to ask. I looked at it from a security's perspective and I thought, well, that must suck, letting students in the rooms all the time. It's probably an annoyance and it gets on their nerves. But after talking to a security guard named John here on campus, I figured out that it's not so bad. John said, and I quote, "Getting kids back into the rooms isn't that bad at all. The biggest thing that could happen is it may take a little longer because we're in the middle of another call, but I like it because it gives us a chance to say hey and meet new people." Personally, I was shocked by this response. You see security walking around, they look all mean and tough. I thought it would be a slap in the face to get constantly called in to let students into the rooms, and I didn't think a security guard could be that friendly, but I guess they're all friendly until they busted, right? Anyway, getting locked out is a problem, and we see this. We see how time is the biggest problem that results from it. I can give you countless examples of unfortunate scenarios that can happen. But most importantly, I think the most important scenarios could be the ones where you're either late to class, a test, or an important exam. These problems are directly correlated to being academic interference. And if anything is in the way of our academics, that's a problem because academics is the reason we're all here today. So, it's just a big deal. Oh, I forgot to change the slide. How do you change the slide?
If you just hit it once, actually. Spacebar.
Spacebar, okay. That was the security part. Okay. So it's just a big deal. Depending on the situation, yes. It could present safety problems. Suppose I get locked out of my room, I have asthma. If I lock myself out, I need my inhaler. That's a problem. Or other important medications. I come to find out that students prop their doors open for long periods of time out of fear of locking themselves out. This directly exposes them to possible theft, which is another problem. But the biggest problem, I think, is the time. It's not that we get locked out. I think it's the time it takes to fix it. So I conducted a survey among students that I know on campus, and from doing that, I found out the process in which they take to fix this problem. And the most common response I got was that I would first call my, the most common response I got was I would first call my roommate, I would check with an RA, and then if that didn't work, I'd call security. Now, I'll give you a little example of how this makes you late. From personal experience, it takes 2 to 3 minutes to process the call, give them the name or whatever. It actually takes 5 to 10 minutes to actually carry out the call, okay? Now, we can all agree that this is a fairly small campus. It probably takes 5 to 8 minutes to get wherever you want to go on foot. And let's say the average student leaves the class 5 to 10 minutes before it actually starts. So, I leave my backpack in my room. I'm locked out. I can't go to class because I need my papers. You know, something's to sign, something's to do. What am I going to do? I'm going to call my roommate, text him. Wait a minute, he's in class. I'm going to go down the hall, knock on the RA's room. He's in class too. So now what? I got to call security. Well, that takes 2 to 3 minutes. Wow, we've wasted 10 to 15 minutes already. And we can wait, and we can plan on wasting 5 to 10 more just for them to get there. So we're looking at 15 to 20 minutes in the hole already. Class is 5 to 10 minutes in process. As you can see, you're late for class, homie. Why should we care about this? Because we're all students here at the College of Wisdom, and we highly value our academic success. if anything gets in the way, like I said before, it's looked at as an academic interference, and that's a problem. So the solution. How are we going to fix this? Well, like I said before, I suggest we install keypad locks onto our key swipes. How are we going to go about doing this? I suggest we spread the word amongst the student body and faculty among campus and higher positions in campus. Basically, let's get enough hype and support around this message so that way we can eventually present President Cornwell and put some pressure on him to make an action on this. So what we'll do is we'll suggest that installation take process over summer break where there's less academic interference or less student interference, and he could look at the cost and say that's a negative, but everything has negatives to it. I would say that positives in this situation outweigh the negatives. All we have to really do is show him some statistics. After doing a interview/survey with an area director, Brandon Britton, he explained some statistics on lockouts regarding students and whatever. So here we have it as follows: August 20th through 31st, approximately a 1.5 week span. A total of 181 students were locked out, averaging at 121 per week. September, 4-week span, 374 students locked out, 93.5 per week. October, 4-week span, total of 296 students locked out, averaging about 74 students per week. November, approximately 3.5 week span, total of 139 students, averaging about 40 per week. Total recorded lockouts by RAs this semester, 990 and counting. Average number of recorded lockouts by RAs per week, 76. So this goes to show how this is a problem. How do I know the solution will work? Well, I mean, we have an example already. If you have all seen the cars that have the keypad lock right there, it gives you 2 ways of access. You can intentionally or unintentionally leave your keys in the car, but always have a way to get back in it, because externally, if you have it in your mind, you know the code, you'll be able to get back into it. I know a lot of you are asking a lot of questions right now, so I'll help you out. Basically, you're probably thinking, well, what's the password going to be? Well, you know how we all get the package in the mail, who's your roommate, what room you're staying in, what's the number. A 4-digit code will be given to you as well. What about sharing passwords? Well, students would strongly be advised not to do so. In doing so, you would be exposed to potential theft. Some of you might even be thinking, well, I like to party, Xavier. I like to do it hard. What if I forget my key and I'm a little too intoxicated? Well, that's a problem. I don't know how to help you in that situation. Get some help. But basically, everybody wants to know how much it's going to cost. It's going to cost some dough. We know that. Well, after doing a little self-conducted experiment, going to gokeyless.com, supposedly America's #1 choice on keyless locks, I've conducted a little experiment to kind of show us just a raw estimate or a ballpark. So here we have it. A sophisticated keypad lock probably costs anywhere $300, $500 for your house. But all we need is a cheaper one. So we're looking at about $20 to $100 here for a keypad lock. The key swipes locks that we already have average anywhere from $50 to $100. But we need both of those together, so we're going to average that out about $100, including installation. According to the College Worcester website, we currently have 2,000 students. And I found out that we also have 30 campus houses. And all the campus houses range from 4 to 16 students. So we average that up about 10 students per house, giving us 300 students. That's 15% of the student body. 75% of the student body share rooms. That's 1,500 students. We cut that in half. We have 1,500 students taking up 750 doors. Let's estimate about 10% of students live in singles. So that's 200 students out of the 2,000. And 200 students obviously take up 200 doors. We add all those students together and all the doors, we get 980 total. 980 doors times $100 equals $98,000. Now, I'm pretty sure nobody currently has $98,000 in their pocket, but to the College of Worcester, that's only about 2 students' tuition. So I think it's possible. So let's just visualize for a second. Like I said, I come to find out students tend to leave their doors open from fear of being locked out. My roommate does it all the time. I'm pissed about it. Not only does he jeopardize his own belongings, but mine as well. So if we just take a minute to imagine a time where we could go down the hall without worrying about, am I going to get back in? Or we could walk out our room, not patting ourselves down, thinking 3 times, 4 times, whether I have my key card on me as the door is slowly locking us out. What this would do is present a carefree, well, a stress-free zone, and got the theft. I need to work on that. What this would do is cause a stress, anxiety-free zone for students of College of Worcester. We already have enough on our minds. This finals is coming up. Nobody really needs a lockout right about now. In following up with this plan, I think that, as I said before, things would go a lot smoother. Security wouldn't have to waste their time. Students would have to waste their time. Time would be more valued and used more efficiently. If we don't use this plan, I think it'll just reoccur. The problem will reoccur, and the problem will create more problems, and we'll just keep going through this, stress environment. Like I said before, the positives outweigh the negatives, and I think the only negative in this situation is the cost. But as I demonstrated earlier, cost might not be that much of a problem. So what can you do? You can help me spread this word throughout the campus. You can, whenever this happens again, you can kind of refer back to what we learned here today. I think after a decent amount of time, we should be able to present a worthwhile proposal to President Cornwell. And President Cornwell is such a good president because he understands the importance of student safety, academics, and everything else, theft. And if we present him with a problem, promoting or kind of revolving around academic interference and personal safety and theft, he would have to take notice because he cares about the students as a whole. He would, I think he would take well to the fact that independent minds are actually working together, and it would be hard for him to turn us down. Questions?
With your plan, would you still have security be able to get us in anyway? They just be kind of out of the picture now.
The question was, would security still get us back in, or will they be out of the picture? Are you saying that we just forgot the code as well?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Basically, I think that security would still have a master key card or whatever, and that they'll always be allowed to, or always be able to give us access back into our rooms. So there'll always be like a way back in.
Would the keypad codes change for the dorm every year so that you don't know how to get into someone who has your old room?
Yeah, I think it'll work the question was, will the key code change every year? And I would say yes, it would work just like a Cal card. Cal card gets assigned to a new door every year. So I think it makes sense for a new code to be assigned to a new door every year. You had a question in the back here? No? Okay.
How did you know how much the Cal card costs? I mean, the key card that you use now.
The question was how did I know how much the key card costs? I didn't know how much the key card costs. I figured out how much the key swipe lock cost.
Oh, how do you know that?
Well, I looked it up online, and like I said, gokeyless.com. They have a whole bunch of different locks like that, so I got estimates that way.